Hey everyone, coming up, we'll give you the latest update on Bob Iger and Disney trying to acquire Fox. We'll also discuss some of the new information that Disney has released as part of their 12 Days of Christmas series. And then we'll talk about 4 Disney restaurants that don't live up to their theming. And if there's time, we'll maybe talk a little bit about Christmas since that's coming up very soon. So, live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida, this is the Diz Unplugged. This is episode 969 of the Diz Unplugged for the week of December 12th, 2017. The Diz Unplugged is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the Diz Unplugged. I am your host, Craig Williams, filling in for Pete Werner, who unfortunately is sick right now. So he is on the tail end of it. He honestly probably could have done it today, and I should have made him come and sit in, but his throat was a little raspy, and he didn't think anyone would want to listen to him sounding like that. So unfortunately, you get my delightful monotone
You have
tones.
the power to make him do things?
No, absolutely not. But
He alluded to it. But
I feel that, I did kind of allude that I may have the power to do that, but no, actually, in fact, he just earlier told me when I told him I'd get him to do something, he said, "Remember who your queen is." So
There you go.
there's also that. But yes, I am Craig filling in for Pete, as I just said, and today I'm joined alongside by Mrs. Teresa Eccles. I don't know how that works.
I don't either.
I guess if
Ms.
I'm here.
means you're
Ms.
divorced.
I feel like I did that. Also, Steve Porter,
Hello.
Corey Martin,
I'm just happy to be here.
and back on the controls, Rhino Clavin.
Hello.
Hello.
Ryan. I'm going to call you Ryan today.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that okay?
It makes me sound like I'm in trouble, but sure.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Someone must be in trouble.
I don't know if any of us are in trouble, but
I know somebody who's in trouble, but she's not here. Okay, let's go.
okay. Well, let's move on. So, yes, we have a very fun episode for you today. Our final episode of the year. You may have noticed, as I also was going around the table, that John and Kevin aren't here, so just wanted to mention, because this ties into everything I'm just going to talk about in a few seconds. They're currently on a Viking River cruise, sailing from Budapest to Berlin or something. I honestly don't know what their itinerary was, but that's why they're not here on top of everything else that's been happening. And so they will be back at the start of the year, along with more episodes of the Dreams Unlimited Travel Show, because they didn't get enough pre-recorded before all of their traveling started. So that's why you haven't seen that for a while. But that is the good time to mention that besides the Dreams Unlimited Travel Show, after this week of shows, you won't see anything else until January 2nd when we return back for our live show. So don't expect to see Universal after this Thursday. Don't expect to see the Disneyland show, but
Nothing.
you still will get Disney dining shows and the best and worst all the way through the holiday break, as long as we will try to put out as many vlogs and random stuff on off days that we would have shows, just so you have some more entertainment if you're already not busy enough with Christmas and whatever you do to celebrate that holiday, if you celebrate that holiday. Mm-hmm. I think Hanukkah starts tonight.
Does it?
Yes,
I believe
it does.
so.
Oh, yeah.
So
It does.
Okay.
that too. All the holidays out there. So, yeah, that's the main thing that I wanted to mention. No more shows after this one. So, in terms of housekeeping, does anyone else have any extra housekeeping?
I do.
Oh, God.
Was that too loud?
No, you scared me. Sorry.
I just want to give a plug for MagicYourBand.com. They're great friends of the site. We don't have a business relationship with us, but they are great friends. They just started adding some officially licensed products to their lineup, including Star Wars and stuff like that. Ooh. So they also have some Diz merchandise. So if you want to deck out your iPhone, your iPad, your Magic Bands, check them out, MagicYourBand.com.
Officially licensed, huh?
Yeah,
Good
I
for
know.
them.
I agree.
That's
it.
very
That was
fan-
quick.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that was a quick one.
Oh, I do have one. Can
Okay.
you give me like 2 seconds? I forgot the name of the person, but there's somebody specifically who sent us an email that I want to mention, and I have it flagged in my email, so I'm cutting to you while I look for it.
I don't know how to burn this 2 seconds. Teresa, I feel like you have something.
I do too, but I gotta look it up. But we can talk about Twisty Treat until I find the thing.
Got it.
I'm looking for.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so I just wanted to... Oh, sorry. Did
Go
you want to
ahead,
go?
I'm done.
Okay, so I just wanted to give a shout out to John Errol, who is in active duty in the Navy, who has been battling cancer for a little while, but he sent us a really nice email, and I just wanted to say, like, hey, give him a little shout out there. That I got your email was very nice and very thoughtful, and keep up the good fight.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Absolutely. Okay, well, if that...
I have one now.
Okay.
I'm ready. Okay.
Yes.
Can I say Merry Christmas to someone?
Yes, please.
Everybody.
Well, to everyone, but a special Merry Christmas to Alan and Helen. You know who you are.
Is that Craig you're talking about? I'm just kidding.
No?
I'm done, okay?
Okay, no, that's fine.
I said my piece.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to everyone out there.
God bless us, everyone.
Just trying to one-up you. Okay. Why don't we just we'll quit on housekeeping while we're ahead here, and we will move into the news this week. So I'm not going to have you read the news because I didn't send you the news stories, so I'll just handle them myself.
Go for it, because we all know I really suck at reading the news.
Nah, you're awesome at it. You're awesome at everything, Teresa.
Some things.
Excellent. So, first up in the news, Disney CEO Bob Iger will possibly be extending his tenure until 2021 or 2022.
Hasn't he done this before?
Yeah, he extended it one time before. Don't ask me about the years that he did that. But he's clearly still CEO, so yeah, he has done it before.
He has the power to do that?
He does have the power to do that.
Okay, keep reading.
I believe he's the master of his domain and
I think Master of the House was what you were looking for.
king of the castle.
Yeah.
But according to CNBC, Disney CEO Bob Iger will extend his stay in the company beyond the previously pledged timeframe of 2019. The reason of this would possibly be because of Disney buying 21st Century Fox assets. So if the deal does go through, it's very likely that Iger will stay with the company for an additional 2 to 3 years, pushing back his tenure again until 2021 or 2022. And along with this, a lot of the new speculation, we talked a couple weeks ago that potentially Bob Chapek may be a successor to the throne in terms of being Disney CEO. But then a couple hours after we recorded last week's news show, then people started pointing out, well, if this happens, one of the possibilities may be that the Fox CEO, James Murdoch, might actually take over and be one of the potential replacements, which, it makes sense, I guess, that if they're going to acquire it, it's another big CEO working for another massive company.
But he's got a bad rep as a CEO. Is the only
Why?
thing.
Tell us.
Well, he had another business that he was removed from as CEO for not displaying what they believed were good characteristics of a CEO. So he was not very involved actively in anything. And so it concerns me.
I also
I don't care for his father.
It seems like everybody has a bad rep.
Sorry.
Comes out every day.
Oh,
Yeah. No,
don't even go there.
No, I didn't.
the interesting, I think, one of the interesting aspects of this too is a lot of people rumored Iger running in 2020, and I feel like this would kind of throw that out the window because
good point.
he can't be CEO and president at the same time.
Running
So,
for
yeah.
president?
yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
She doesn't listen to a Disney podcast. She doesn't know.
Sometimes I do. Maybe I heard that. I don't know.
Yeah, but at the same time, too, I guess he could continue on as CEO through until he has to pick up and start getting very serious about campaigning in the election. So, time frame wise, if everything goes smoothly with the acquisition of Fox and they start getting all their cards in order, this is all just...
No, well, if he wants to be CEO until 2022, how's he going to do that if he's president at the same time?
It's all still speculation on how long he's going to stay in terms of all of that. So it's just, they're saying it's likely that he will. That doesn't mean it's definite. So, but there's also other little rumblings that have been going on around this too. Last week also, the Walt Disney Company added 2 new members to the board. On February 1st, they will welcome Safra Katz, Chief Executive of Oracle, and then Francis De Souza, Chief Executive of Illumina, to its board of directors. So they don't know what committee the new members will serve on, but they'll join other people like Facebook's Sheryl Sandberg and Twitter's Jack Dorsey. So it's 2 big new members that have a lot of experience in the business world. So it's just, it feels like they're setting up for something much bigger.
Well, it makes me wonder, both of them are tech people. So it makes me curious if this originally it seemed to come out at the same time that the Fox speculation was coming out. So I thought it was related to that. But the more I looked into these 2 particular people, they're very tech heavy. So I'm wondering if this has to do with the whole streaming, stuff.
Yeah, it could be with that too. So
It's the way of the world, Steve. Everyone must be tech heavy now.
I guess so.
Well, I mean,
Or-
Iger came from television. He seemed like an I don't want to say unqualified, but he wasn't a guy that you were like, this guy's going to run my theme park, I guess, too. So I guess nobody's going to look ideal until they're in the spot or something. I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know. Try to keep an
know.
open mind.
You never know, but if the deal happens with Fox right now, the speculation is it'll be this Thursday, which will be very interesting because we won't be able to talk about it then until next year,
So it's old news.
which it feels good. Yeah, it'll be way old news by then.
Oh, you're not doing
So-
the daily fix?
Yeah, we'll still do that, but we don't really we don't go in depth on our thoughts and feelings. Otherwise, it would be like a 20-minute daily fix every day.
Okay.
That'd be way too long.
It
So-
would be.
Yeah, it would be. Just like this. So let's move on. Okay, an off-duty cast member is fired for carrying a concealed weapon at Disney Springs. The Disney Transportation cast member was reportedly fired last month for carrying a concealed weapon at Disney Springs again on his day off, which is not allowed according to Disney's policies for off-duty cast members. The situation has caused a former cast member to question whether or not the company violated his Second Amendment rights. Sam Martinez worked at Disney for 5 years. He has a valid concealed carry permit and had it with him. The gun was not out in the open, but apparently security officers could somehow tell that Martinez was carrying a weapon underneath his shirt. Martinez said, "I exit a store and I've got sheriffs around me. I've got security around me. I was treated pretty much like a criminal." They said, "You can't have that there, and you can't be a Disney employee and be carrying that. It's against our policies." Martinez says, "Well, I've never been informed of that." Martinez was promptly suspended for 19 days and was fired upon his return. He stated that there was no signs at Disney Springs saying he couldn't carry his gun and argued that he was legally carrying a weapon on his day off, making him question if Disney had the right to let him go. He says it's a Second Amendment right for him to legally carry. He did everything legally, and now it's almost like I'm being punished for it. Martinez has since learned that cast members are strictly prohibited from bringing weapons onto Disney property, whether it be a theme park, resort, hotel, or Disney Springs. He says that if he'd known that ahead of time, he would not have been carrying the gun.
So first off, why was he there on his day off? Who does that? Okay. And they said to him, "Hey there, you can't have that." That's what you said, something like
Hey,
that?
you
Hey,
there.
you.
His statement,
You can't have that.
His
here.
statement was, "I exit a store and I've got sheriffs around me. I've got security around me. I was pretty much treated like a criminal. They said, you can't have that here and you can't be a Disney employee and carrying."
You can't have that here.
So.
You can't. You can't have a concealed weapon anywhere on Disney property, right?
No.
Whether you're an
that's-
employee or
no,
not.
it's like-
Definitely not.
Okay,
No, that's
either
what I'm
way,
saying.
employee or non-employee, you shouldn't have that.
We
there.
went to Candlelight Processional last night, and Julie always keeps mace in her purse. I try to make sure that she always has a new can of mace. But we're walking through the parking lot. She goes, "Oh, I forgot I have mace in my purse." So we ran back to the car.
Oh, you can't have that there
Well,
either?
I don't know, but we're not
pretty sure
going
you
to take the
can't.
chance.
Yeah.
But even something like mace, we're like, okay, no. Shit, I won't even keep a toothpick pick in my pocket.
I just meant in the way where like people are licensed to be concealed weapon. Obviously you can't. It's private property, but yeah. It seems weird to me that he would work there so long and not know the rule at Disney is no concealed weapons period. No weapons period.
Yeah.
What scares me about these stories is if he didn't know, how long has he been doing this, and how long are there other people that just?
I mean, he makes a valid. I don't remember if he said this in the article or if it said it in the article, but there was a valid point made where there's not a posted sign anywhere, and like. I don't know that it has to be a posted sign either, because I feel like it should be a common sense thing. You don't bring weapons to a theme park.
Well, that all begs the question: should Disney at some point in time start treating Disney Springs like they do the theme parks? And
Yes.
when you leave a parking garage or you come in off a bus or drop off whatever, make you go through metal detectors.
I 100% think they should, and wasn't it the
Well, downtown
what-
Disney and Disneyland is treated that way.
yeah.
Yeah, well, and wasn't the Pulse Shooter, wasn't the place he also was thinking about was downtown Disney at the time, Disney Springs now?
Yeah, I
Wasn't
believe that
that-
was one of the
They-
locations they said he staked out.
Yeah,
when he
so
was-
if that's, I mean, that makes me think they definitely should.
Yeah, no, it's Disneyland has been doing it, like Rhino said. They've been doing it for a year now or so. Universal has been doing it for
Ever.
for a little bit over about 2 years. I think they've been doing it with. Yeah, theirs was always only on
Theirs
they
is the
only
best
did
version,
metal
though.
detectors on nights with Halloween Horror Nights. And that was right when you were getting into the park. But once they adopted the metal detectors and a lot stricter policies, they went all out. So when you go there and you show up at their hub, they have the whole line of metal detectors that you have to go through before you can get to City Walk or the parks. They've got actual X-ray machines to check the bags instead of wasting time going through, rifling,
stick.
opening up
Well,
absolutely
And I'm fine
every
with
pocket.
that. 100%.
Oh, it's a much simpler process.
Well, why?
Yeah.
Okay, he's been an employee for 5 years. Didn't he read the handbook? It had to have been in the handbook. It had to have been
Well,
somewhere.
traditions. Let's go back to. I don't know.
It's more or less just. I think it's a common sense thing.
I agree.
If you can't bring the stuff into the theme parks, and you can't because, again, you have metal detectors, making sure that you don't do that. Why would you think that you can take it to Disney Springs too? That's not some special part of property where all rules go out the window.
I think people. I mean, I guess not relate to this person at all, but like to the idea that Disney Springs is a little different because kind of how it's not treated the same way. Like I've thought it before when I was walking, and I have all my stuff in my backpack for the daily fix. I always think it's so much easier to do it here because I don't have to go through and have it all looked at. Or at Universal, it's a lot easier because I'd rather just put my bag down and have it go through an X-ray machine. It's the idea of somebody having to sit there, unzip everything, go through everything, have this conversation, and then them ask me a million questions about why I have a video camera in my backpack.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, is this really a threat? My camera is the threat? And I'm not trying to be rude about it because I've met some very nice security people. But I just think everybody going through a metal detector, everybody through an X-ray machine would be the right idea. But then you have to ask the question, too, because Disney Springs is set up very similar to, the outlets. Why don't they do it at the outlets, why don't they do it at outside malls? And then you ask yourself, with what happened in New York with the guy in the subway, why don't they do it as you get on the subway? Where's the line,
Yeah, I mean, there obviously would have to be a line. I think with Disney, though, if you're going to do it at 4 theme parks,
You should do it
You
on
might
the
as well
property.
just do it at the last one. Saying that for the outlets, that's different. That would be up to whoever owns
Yeah.
the premium outlets. That would be up to them to make decisions on that. But
I also think that this is kind of sad and depressing, but I think sometimes shooters would want to attack a place like Disney because it's Disney and it has that name, and it would get their name
Yeah,
out
that's
there. Where I don't know if I mean, this is dark and depressing, but I don't think an outlet would really. I mean, it would be equally as sad, but it wouldn't. The
Impact.
name
Yeah.
shooting at Disney would
The impact wouldn't
It
be
would have to be
there.
the Disney store at the outlets.
Yeah, right.
I at the end of the day, I do feel bad for the cast member because he genuinely seemed like he didn't know this policy.
Well, and he was
based on his statement.
and he wasn't doing anything that's breaking the rules that he's learned. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? If he's got a permit and he's doing the right thing, like I'm saying, is if he were going to an outlet, it wouldn't have been a thing. Maybe he's just
Yeah, it's at the end of the day, though, you break a rule for company that you work for, something like that. They have every right to enforce it.
Well,
so
whether you knew the rule or not,
yeah, whether you know it or not, that's just the case. So I feel terribly for him, but hopefully he's able to find a job in a similar field somewhere else that this won't affect him ever again in the future. And that's all I have to say about that. So that is it for the news per se, and we are going to move into our discussion topic now, which could be a fun one. So this week we are talking about 4 Disney restaurants that don't live up to their theming. So this started as an article on the Diz by our contributor Mike Hughes. Does a lot of good stuff for us, and basically the point of the article is right in the title. He was listing out 4 Disney restaurants that he believes don't live up to their actual theming. And we'll go through some of these and say what we actually feel on it. So, he does admit that the theming and concepts behind Disney restaurants are unparalleled. But basically, these restaurants, food-wise, are completely disappointing when you compare them to the actual concept and the theming that are followed through at the restaurant. So we'll start with the first one that he talks about, and I feel like that's an easy place to start because we've talked about it a lot lately, but Be Our Guest. So
Really?
Yeah, Mike thinks that Disney World's flagship restaurant is Be Our Guest, except maybe Cinderella's Royal Table, but it's completely immersive. But the food has tapered off and the service has gotten lazy. So he basically just believes that it completely relies on theming. And what does anyone think about that?
Well, when I first read the article and I saw the list, I kind of skimmed through it at first, and then I read through it. That because every restaurant he lists, when I think of theming, I think of like the environment, and I didn't necessarily think of the food. But then when you start thinking of the food, with the theming, I don't know. It's I've been there a couple of times. I enjoy the theming there, the environment of it, but I think I agree with the food. There were certain things that are great.
Steve, didn't you eat there recently?
Yeah, and I think actually me and Pete were talking about, and Sean and Charles were talking about how. Oh no! Wait, was it you?
I was there with you.
Oh yeah. And we were talking about how the quality and the service of food was just not up to par with what it used to be when they first opened.
See, and that's the only time I've been there is when it first, I think it had just opened, because you could still walk up and go to lunch there. So I haven't really had a sit-down dining experience in there. And when I was there then, I thought the food was good. I thought it was really good because it was different from what you found everywhere else, and it felt fresh and new. But that makes me sad if that's the case now.
In my opinion, the quick service, the lunch has gotten a lot worse, even worse than the dinner. I don't know why that's true, but I feel like it is.
It's been a long time since I've had the quick service lunch. I actually probably haven't had that since the last time I did it was kind of like what Rhino was saying, when you used to have to go and wait outside in the sun for 30 minutes to an hour. Yeah, I think I waited 30 minutes outside, and it was one of those days where they were handing out umbrellas and glasses of water just to get people cooled down in that line. And after you suffer through even a short time like that, but you suffer through that wait to then get inside, I don't think any quick service can ever then turn around and be like, here,
this is amazing.
This makes up for it.
Yeah.
So I just haven't been back for that. But dinner, I've done dinner there 3 times now. The first time I did it, it was just a romantic date night with Kylie. And that was with that one, the food was good, but it didn't really matter so much. It was more being there in the moment. And, the food, it seemed elevated because of that. And then next time I went with my family, it was very similar to that. But then the night that we went to review it, and I was like, okay, well, yeah, the theming's great. Put that aside and actually look at the food. I think Disney's realized that they're going to get
reservations in this place because of people wanting it
Just
so
for
bad.
the environment. Like, I
Right.
want to bring my kids there just for the environment.
Just to see
And
what
that's
it is.
Yeah.
And so Disney's probably said, from a business perspective, hey, people are going to book here just because they want to get in the room. Why don't we make it less expensive? I mean, why don't we cut the cost of this food and get lower quality stuff?
Now, I haven't been there for breakfast yet, so I can't talk on that. I mean, any of y'all been there for breakfast?
It's been a long time. It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Sorry,
So-
I don't know why I would go on that musical.
I mean, breakfast. Is there any truly good theme park breakfast anywhere, though?
The only place that I've had something at breakfast on Disney that I did enjoy was at the Kona Cafe, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
think
like
that's what
Kona.
it was. They had like stuffed French toast or
But
something.
that's not a theme park.
Oh, no, that's right. You're
So
correct.
I don't know. It's just, I know how I like making my eggs at home. I
Hey.
think
With the gray stuff?
with with the grace. Oh, I feel like you can go spend $4 and get a Moons Over My Hammy at Denny's, and it's going to be anything. It's going to be better than anything you can get at Be Our Guest. So it's just Be Our Guest. I completely agree that it should be on the list of disappointing. The next one up, his suggestion, Beer Garden, says Beer Garden transports you into a small Bavarian village during Oktoberfest and brilliantly makes you feel outside while you're inside. Agree with that. The level of immersion is matched by its fun performances and party vibe with traditional German singers that bring guests on stage. They start every day with a ceremony, which a random guest taps the keg and gets a free beer.
Oh.
And so he says it's very fun and immersive, but the food doesn't keep up unless you're a huge sausage fan like him.
Hey, I was about to be like, I have no issue with the food. And then you
what they
did
say.
For the rest of you, there are a few options at this buffet-style restaurant, so steer clear of Beer Garden if you can't stand lunch meat. The tables seat 8 people, so if you have a smaller party, you're going to eat with strangers as well, too. But that's any good kind of Bavarian-style restaurant. You have the nice long wooden tables where you all share seating together. I mean, but I like German food, so I don't know if I agree with this. It's been a little while since I've eaten at Beer Garden, but while it's not amazing German food, not every city has German food readily accessible, so I think it's one of those things that still might be a little bit more unique and common. Like, I can't imagine there's a lot of German restaurants in New Orleans.
Oh, no, not on Bourbon Street. I tell you what. Those
It's,
German po' boys.
it's been years since I've eaten there, but the last experience I had there, I enjoyed all the food. I don't know. It's like, I understand what he's saying. It was, what I remember is it was a lot of meats and a lot
Yeah.
of potato stuff. But I'm like, that's probably terrible American of me associating that with German food. But that's the American perception of it. So that's what they're going to give you is what the perceived food is. But
I mean, that's a lot of it, though. When I went to Germany, it's what did you eat? You basically had meat all the time. It was whether it was at breakfast having sausages, and then in the lunch, having Wiener Schnitzel, which is people like. I think a lot of time people hear Wiener and they think that that's going to be a hot dog too, but really that's usually just like a chicken or pork cutlet that's pounded up and then deep fried breaded. So not that, but still excellent, delicious. At dinner, you might have stuff like sauerbraten or other roasted meats or fish. So it's pretty. For Pennsylvania, it was kind of just like normal food that you had. A lot of like comfort food, basically. But I guess if you think German food is only sausage, then you might have that negative perception on it. But
This is one of the few restaurants like around the world showcase where you can actually smell the food before you even get close to the restaurant. You just step into the country. You can already smell that food. And also those restrooms, those are my favorite ones. All the way in the back. Those are
I didn't even know
telling
there were
everybody my
restrooms
secret.
over there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. Best restrooms.
there you go. Best restrooms. May not be the best restaurant, best restrooms. I don't think this is disappointing, but that's just me. And I guess Rhino doesn't either.
No, yeah.
I like it.
I want to go eat there again.
I've never been.
Okay.
Never
I love
been.
it.
I've seen the
Atmospheric
entertainment
food.
on my way to the
Yeah,
restaurant.
the atmosphere is
It's fun.
Eating with strangers, it's all good.
Yeah.
Wait, so you've never been, but you know where the hidden bathrooms are? How did that work out?
You know,
You know what they say.
You know what they say.
Laissez-les bon temps.
Okay, so next up, Mike says Coral Reef. If you watched Full House as a kid like him, you've probably wanted to go to Coral Reef ever since you saw Uncle Jesse swim past the dinner table while Danny tried to propose to his girlfriend, Vicky. This is one of the coolest concepts for a restaurant, so it's even more disappointing that the seafood here is subpar. There are a few places around where you can eat a meal while looking into one of the largest aquariums in the world. However, the food's lacking, the fish is often bland or undercooked, and the seafood dishes are unimaginative. Here, come to watch fish swim past your table and hope it distracts you from the overpriced food. While the food is overpriced there, I still have yet to have a bad meal there. So I guess I'm in the minority. I've had food there that wasn't amazing, but it also wasn't like terrible.
Yeah, it's the middle of the road for me too. Like it's never bad. It's never it's like a solid 7 usually. Where it's it's not my favorite, but it's not horrible.
Yeah, I think it's one of those expectation things too. Like, don't go to a seafood restaurant and then order a steak.
Yeah,
it's probably not going to turn out that well for you. Going back to John and Kevin, the sad little crab cake that it's just stuck with everything with the Diz for so long. Like, I would never personally go there and order a crab cake. That's just how I feel. I would go, if I want a crab cake, I'm going to go to Maryland.
Crab cakes and football.
Just what you do. Or go to a restaurant that's like known for having crab cakes. Don't just get it because it's on the menu. So while they have some missteps in the menu, I think the last time I ate there, I had a fantastic meal. And they always have like the charbroiled octopus is part of their appetizers, and that's been amazing every single time I've gotten it.
That was the one thing I did enjoy when we went. Like for me, for seafood, I like either sushi quality or like straight up New Orleans style spicy seafood. So anything that's even close to being bland, I'm going to be disappointed with. But the environment, the theming is great if the food can stay consistent. Because I think the issue maybe with this restaurant, considering there are so many people that hate it, so many people that like it, maybe it's the inconsistency of it, maybe it's the quality of fish they're getting. Maybe that's not consistent. But I enjoy the octopus.
I think a lot of people too just want Red Lobster. They want basic. They want basic shrimp and Cheddar Bay biscuits are one of the most amazing things to ever exist.
What's that?
The biscuits that
the
they give you?
biscuits that they give you at Red Lobster.
Oh, okay. Well,
oh my god. You can buy it at the grocery store now and make them yourself. They're amazing. I know you like Cheddar Bay biscuits.
They're good. I'm not really a Red Lobster fan though.
Hey, that's fine. I'm not either. If I walked in, it would kill Kylie. The last time we were there, it basically did. We were there for 15 minutes and had to walk right out. But if that's more your level, kind of like mainstream style basic seafood, I think even something like Coral Reef might have a little bit too many variations for you. But regardless, people go there and don't necessarily like it, think it's overpriced, and that's why it made this list.
I do appreciate Mike's good description of Full House, the episode, though.
Yeah, no,
that was nice.
It was. No, he nailed it. So
what's next?
What's next? Finally wrapping up, San Angel Inn. So
which
featured on Fuller House.
Mike says he hadn't gone to San Angel Inn for years because of the consistently bad food. That's, of course, the one that's inside the Mexico Pavilion, not the one outside. He was looking for a date spot with his girlfriend to Disney World, and he was fooled again. He likes that it's right beside Grand Fiesta Tour and the Maya Temple, but besides that, it just suckers you in. The service was outstanding. Host was accommodating. They got a table on the water with no reservation, but it was unforgettable. The food is unforgivable. He's a foodie who usually eats everything except the napkin, and the plate's still all left with food.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Does T-Rex Cafe not count as a Disney restaurant?
Yeah, I mean, it's on Disney property, so people consider it.
I'm just thinking about the 4 restaurants that have been named in this list. Like, as far as theming goes, like, I probably would have put that on the list since that is an incredibly themed restaurant.
Theme park, right?
I wonder if it was just theme park.
No, this
maybe
was.
But I don't
Disney?
know. Maybe because Disney, it's not owned and operated by Disney. It's whoever
T-Rex is just bar food.
Yeah, but you can't deny the theming inside of the restaurant. That's the thing.
Theming's
So I'm
good.
just thinking about San Angel Inn. Like, there's theming because it's already inside of a pavilion. I don't really think it. I don't know. It's just
Yeah, technically, San Angel Inn, it's not even, that's like T-Rex Cafe. That's not a Disney-owned restaurant.
Is it not? No.
No.
Oh,
It's I
interesting.
can't remember the name of the company. It's the same people who run La Cava, though.
Oh, okay.
Again, that's an outside company that's buying that space in the Mexico Pavilion. So, yeah, they're using the space that Disney designed, and fortunately, Disney designed a very beautiful pavilion inside the Mexico Pavilion, and the restaurant really gets to benefit because of that. I don't know. Everyone just has their different tastes in Mexican food.
Exactly.
So it's like the argument that we make in terms of Nine Dragons all the time. How can you really justify going and spending $20 on an entree at Nine Dragons when you could get
Delivery.
a massive portion of $10 delivery of your favorite Chinese?
That's a good point.
Same thing with Mexican. My favorite dive Mexican place that used to be right by my house, I can go in there for $8 and not be able to finish my food at all, and it's the best thing that I've ever had. So,
Unlike the food truck we went to.
and, no, the food truck was good. It's just
It was the hot sauce.
it was the hot sauce.
But
That really took me down.
It is a shame that this isn't a really consistently great place food-wise, because I of all Mike's list, this is probably the one I agree with the most, of the location being beautiful and the food being consistently bad.
I just don't understand the theming part of this. That's all. You know what I mean?
So he's saying...
No, I mean, I get what he's saying. This is not a restaurant I think would have thought of theming wise. I get that it's supposed to be Mexican food themed because it's in Mexico. I don't know. It's a
I
weird.
think he's saying... Are you confused about the theming of the food? I think he's saying the theming of the location.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I
you're
don't-
eating in a great location
But
Yeah.
the food...
that is completely themed.
Okay.
But the food is not good.
I guess I don't think of this restaurant as a completely well themed. You know what I mean? There's a difference between like this restaurant.
I think
is
you're kind of
incidentally
consumed
themed.
in that environment, though.
Yeah, I
right?
agree.
mean, like when you're eating there, you're like consumed with the, with the ride going by.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
It's 100% immersive.
Yeah.
You're in a Mexican market.
But it's incidentally themed, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's themed, whereas these other places specifically, they became. I don't know what I'm trying to say. They made their own world, whereas this one was put into a world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I
Okay.
said that like 30 seconds ago.
I don't think I understood what you said. I'm too
I may
hot
not
in
have
here.
said
I
it
don't
right.
know.
It is very brisk, despite the weather being finally kind of coming back up in Florida. It's in the 70s today. This house is kind of in that imbalance in the air conditioning we really need to be.
We're in the furnace from Home Alone right now. Is what I
It's
feel
probably
like.
only 70 degrees, but it feels like 90. So I know we're all struggling with it. But that's it for that discussion because he's out of places there. So we'll start moving along and get through rapid fire. And I'm actually going to go first in order to add in some extra time to this show. And so we'll start with my rapid fire, and that's that Disney on Broadway lineup was announced last week for the Festival of the Arts. And this will include weeks of performances starting on January 12th, running all the way to February 19th. And the performers will be kind of as followed: January 12th to 15th. January 12th to 15th, and then January 19th to the 22nd. You can see Cara Lindsay and Kevin Massey. They'll be performing songs from Tarzan, Aladdin, Newsies, and Frozen. On the January...
Where are they from?
What's that?
What are they from?
I didn't write down that information.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would say that they probably are from
Don't-
some of the things they're going to sing songs about, maybe.
Okay.
Go with that. I'll go with that. January 26th to 29th and February 2nd to the 5th will be Kissy Simmons and Alton Fitzgerald White. They'll be singing songs from Tarzan, The Lion King, Aida, Aladdin, and The Little Mermaid. And then February 9th to the 12th, as well as the 16th to the 19th, it'll be Ashley Brown and Josh Strickland. And they'll be singing songs from Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Mary Poppins, Newsy, and Frozen.
Well, I know she's Mary
yeah.
Poppins and he's Tarzan, so
Exactly.
I knew those two.
Those were easy ones. And they're the ones who I saw last year
Yeah, me too.
at this event. And
They were excellent.
They were very good. They put on a heck of a show. So I look forward to try to see one of the different acts this year that I didn't get to see last year. Maybe the one with Lion King and Aida. That one sounds interesting. But we'll see. Okay, thanks, Craig. Moving along, Teresa.
A heck of a show.
One humdoozy of a show.
Doozy.
All right. New renderings and details revealed for Disney's Skyliner transportation system. Ooh, let's talk about it. Disney Parks blog has just shared additional artist renderings and details on how the new system will give guests a whole new view from the sky as they travel from select Disney resorts to Epcot and Disney's Hollywood Studios. Iconic Disney characters will be displayed on the outside of select Disney Skyliner cabins, giving the appearance of that character riding with the guests.
Ooh.
Sounds unique.
Scrumptious, doesn't it sound just
Scrumptious.
Scrumptious? I don't know if
I
that's
want
the
to
word
ride.
I'd use.
I want to ride with these, whatever.
Continue.
I think it'll be fun. I'm done. I'm done.
You're not going to talk about the other things with it?
Like each one is individually themed.
The design of the Disney Skyliner station at International Gateway at Epcot will be inspired by the park's nearby European pavilions and will be covered with metal and glass canopies, hand-painted murals, and ornamental steel structures that harken back to the early 18th century Art Nouveau style. Guests traveling to Epcot via the Disney Skyliner will be welcome to the park with a rare bird's eye view of World Showcase.
For those of you listening, you're missing out on some wonderful arm choreography.
Yeah. You should stop this and for listening and watch this. Continue on, please.
That's it, isn't it?
No.
There's
Yeah.
The
another
Disney
station.
Caribbean Beach Resort station will be the hub of activity for Disney Skyliner. This station is inspired by the open-air village marketplaces of the Caribbean and will showcase the nearby resort's architectural detailing and color schemes. At this station, passengers will be able to transfer gondola routes to reach their destination or are invited to sit and admire the waterfront resort.
This is where you'll always find Kathy Warling riding a gondola.
So
He's sitting there day after day.
is
Should we
there
let
one?
her finish?
Is-
Should we
yeah,
let her
yeah,
finish?
yeah.
We'll let her finish.
Let her finish.
There's more?
But wait,
Kanye.
there's more. The design style of the station at Disney's Hollywood Studios will fit with that of the park's main entrance and bus stations. Passengers traveling here from Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort station can expect a new aerial perspective of the park's iconic attractions, like Twilight Zone's Tower of Terror.
Whoa.
Any other ones?
Disney Pop Century Resort and Disney Art of Animation Resort will share a Disney Skyliner station that feels whimsical. Lost my place.
All that Wednesday.
Upon departing the gondola station, Skyliner passengers will ascend over Hourglass Lake and enjoy a panoramic view of the colorful resort.
I love it.
That's Backstreet Boy choreography.
Can I end now? Can I end?
Can you finish?
There's more? Oh, there's more. Cabins are going to slow down at the Disney Skyliner turn station along Buena Vista Drive. Slow down. And guests will be able to see the mechanical and aerial elements that make up the Disney Skyliner.
So essentially, we're not going to cover up the inner workings.
Yeah, you can watch it.
It's a fun way to see. You can see the theming.
You can see the guts.
Yeah. Art Nouveau style. That's going to be interesting.
I'm excited
right?
about that one, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was at Epcot the other day and like seeing where the station's going to be and knowing where that's going to be and knowing where
Where is it gonna
Caribbean
be,
Beach
Steve?
is going to be. Well, it's going to be right outside the International Gateway exit.
Where that big giant open space currently is?
Correct.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
But then seeing that and then knowing where Caribbean Beach is, it looks like it's going to be going behind World Showcase. So are we going to have the gondolas like in the background of...
Behind the ball?
No,
No.
behind
World
all the
Showcase.
countries.
Oh.
Like, because I feel like that'll mess with the theming a little bit.
You're upset about the eye line now. It's going to
Yeah.
be ruined.
That if you're looking from Future World into World Showcase, you're going to see a gondola going in the background.
Steve,
I'm not sure what the height's
Steve,
gonna be.
As soon as we know, we'll share more information with you.
Oh, okay.
But you didn't share more information with you. You missed an arm choreography opportunity.
I've got a gesture, but I'm not going to use it.
It's gonna mess with it. It's gonna impact the skyline regardless of where you're at on property. Maybe I'll just put a scrim
Giant.
on that side. It'll just, it'll change from, Italy to each country. What do you think?
I like the idea of interconnecting all the stuff. Essentially, Animal Kingdom's getting nothing, but
I don't think I ever felt like I was truly transported away when standing in any country at the World Showcase. So I doubt seeing a
Sauerkraut? The smell of
gondola.
sauerkraut? No?
When you're inside, but when you're standing outside of a country looking at it, I don't think I'm going to be bothered by seeing a gondola move past the tiny, tiny little Eiffel Tower that's sitting up in France.
I think
just
it's
not gonna-
exciting. I like the whole
Yeah.
idea. I like.
Yeah, the only thing it's going to do is ruin perspectives. But hey,
Well, it's kind of
That'll
going
happen.
back to your article about, how transportation needs to improve, right? So this is
Yeah,
this
get
is
with
an
it.
improvement.
you can't
does.
have your cake and eat it
Well,
too.
my argument though
Right?
is that the Magic Kingdom's transportation needs to improve
Gotcha.
because getting to the Magic Kingdom is literally impossible.
a nightmare.
Yep.
Man, you
I agree
just
with that.
want it all.
Everyone should just have to park
One
at the
step at a
Contemporary
time, one
and then
step at a
walk
time.
over.
Okay, not to go on a side tangent, but now that we're talking about it, we're going to talk about it. They need to have an annual pass holder / DVC parking lot next to the Contemporary.
Hijack the show over here.
Wow.
I
that is-
agree. When Bob
I don't
Iger's
know.
president, maybe we'll get that
What?
of the country.
Oh.
Not the. Okay, whatever.
Okay. Well, Steve, what's your rapid fire?
Oh, I wasn't ready because I was on that side tangent.
Tangent over.
A new show is coming to Disney's Animal Kingdom in 2018. It's going to be an Up theme show, Disney's Pixar's Up, and it's going to be located in the Flights of Wonder stage. So it's not known, but it is speculated that the Flights of Wonder will be gone, which I'm very
December
excited.
31st.
December, yeah, I was going to get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, December 31st, it'll be gone. I'm kind of excited about that because I hate Flights of Wonder.
You just said you didn't know if it was going to be gone or not.
No,
He
but
did.
it's speculated that it's the final showing is going to be on the 31st, according to Jackie Gailey's article.
Okay. Sorry, I thought that was a definitive, like they had announced it. Sorry.
So what's happening in the new show? What do you know?
So, based by it, if I'm not reading it incorrectly, they are literally going to have a bunch of birds flying around, but you'll see Russell and Doug there.
and I'm assuming
Is that the gist of
I'm
it?
assuming Kevin's going to make an appearance because they do.
As he runs through, because he's flightless.
Well, yeah, and you used to be able to meet Kevin as well. It used to be Doug, Russell, old man. What's old man's name?
Carl.
Carl. And I think I have a picture with Kevin. Wasn't it all four of them originally at Hollywood Studios when the movie first came out and they did the meet and greet?
I didn't
I'm
live
gonna have
here
to
yet.
consult my photographer.
So the birds are still going to be there?
Yeah, so it looks like they will have close encounters with amazing winged creatures. So
So it's going to be Flights of Wonder with Up characters.
They're just kicking it up a notch.
which, I mean, good.
Won't the
because
balloons
Flights of
scare
Wonder
the
by-
birds? They've got to
appreciate it.
have balloons, right?
What?
No, they're not going to have the house, Teresa.
Then you're gonna have birds flying into balloons.
It's like, what balloons are you talking about?
I know that was a setup joke, but it still irritated me so much.
Okay, I actually don't think Kevin was there. I think he was a cardboard cutout, and I remembered my past incorrectly.
Hey.
Sorry.
You ruined it.
Okay. Well,
It's so hot in here.
it is.
It is. My Christmas tree's melting.
Corey.
Okay, you could spend New Year's Eve at the Edison at Disney Springs at Walt Disney World. The Edison at Disney Springs will be hosting a dazzling gala grand opening on New Year's Eve. The industrial Gothic-style restaurant will serve extraordinary food, exceptional cocktails, plus a spectacular lineup of world-class entertainment.
Oh,
Hey,
I'm correct.
you're taking my.
Entertainment.
Oh, I almost said the word. Taking my stuff.
Doors open at 7:30. You got to be 21 and up to get in. It's $125 a person plus tax and gratuity. But most of these things say gratuity included, so I'm not sure how you do that. But there's going to be a.
Did you see there's a dress code?
Really?
Oh, I think it's like a permanent dress code. You can't wear flip flops in there ever.
Yeah.
and they have
Really?
to
I'm
be dress
into-
shorts. And
Yeah, that was kind of. I think
Dress
that
shorts.
was because the Edison. This isn't the only Edison, right? There's
one in LA.
yeah,
I think.
and that's the dress code for those ones. So
This is limited to 350 people, so get ya.
And what's the
Get your
food? What did
tickets.
you say about the food?
I didn't. I was getting to that. Thanks, Teresa. I appreciate it. It's going to be a tray passed hors d'oeuvres, live action food stations, and a wide selection of beer, wine, and spirits from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. So I guess drink and eat up before midnight.
Live
Plus a
action.
selection of coffee,
What about
desserts,
the
and
animated food
a
station?
midnight toast to ring in the new year.
The live action food station. Real people making real food.
Yeah. Steve, you going there
I like the
this
no flip-flop thing.
Thursday? Are you
Wednesday.
getting- Wednesday.
Tomorrow. Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna check it out.
Steve's getting a tour tomorrow.
Can you put anything on Twitter, or is it one of those like
No pictures, no video. So.
Yeah, he's gonna have Twitter opportunities, but they will supply us
Don't
with
wear
photos and
flip-flops.
video.
Do you wear flip flops? You
Never.
don't seem like a flip flop kind of guy to me.
I don't like the thing between my toes.
Yeah, I don't either.
the thong?
Yeah.
At least we get the grand opening of the Edison finally.
I'm excited.
Even though
for
it's
that.
coming the last day of the year. Still made it for 2017.
Awesome.
125 though. I mean, if I was
That's a
paying that
lot.
much, I would want to make sure that I don't remember being at the Edison that night.
So you're saying it's kind of a waste because you're forgetting the whole idea is that you're at the grand opening and now
Exact-
you've forgotten it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But exciting. Can't wait to get inside there. Rhino.
So mine is just quick and easy, and it's that the Walt Disney World has raised the Walt Disney World has raised prices for their refillable mugs from $17.99 to the $18.99 unbearable price limit there. It's good for the stay of your trip. You know how they work. Craig said this in the Daily Fix the other day. They are still a pretty good deal because that's for your entire stay of your trip. And for those of you who like drink a lot of soda, soda's expensive at Disney World, so you might.
Yeah, what
as
if I'm
well.
only there 2 days?
Well,
I think you can still make use of it for 2 days.
Yeah, but
because you can get it and then
that's
go
a
back
heck
to
of
your
a lot
room.
of soda to drink to make up for that. I
I
guess you
mean,
got your
well,
souvenir when you go home.
It's like
but
$3 a soda regularly, so 18 divided by 3 is what, 6?
You
So
have 6, but you're not counting in coffee. If you drink that in the morning, tea.
Let me ask
You
you a
have that
question
too?
because I don't know the answer to this about the refillable popcorn because I was getting popcorn last night.
were we
and-
talking about popcorn?
No, we're talking about refillable stuff.
Oh.
You know the refillable popcorn stuff?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, the guy in front of me, he says, well, I have a bucket. I lost it. When's it expire? And the cast member didn't know the answer to it. And I didn't know the answer either. The cast member just said he just refills the bucket whenever somebody brings up a bucket.
Well, if he lost it, it doesn't matter.
But he's going to buy another one, and maybe he's thinking about bringing it back next trip.
They used to, when they started doing it, they said, so like whenever they did it at like Disneyland, they said this was for the summer. And they said, so you'd buy the bucket in like June and it was good until the end of September. And
But
I don't
there's-
know if they carried that over.
Theirs was different. I think when it started at Walt Disney World, it was saying it was $10.99 to buy it, and then it was 90 cents.
It's like $1.50 now to refill it.
For a
Yeah.
refill, but it was only. But back then they made it seem like it was only you could only have it that one day. Then they changed
Yeah.
it like to a length of your stay situation where you buy it the first day and you can refill it. Obviously, with annual pass holders, our length of stay is
Right.
Well, they
the
have an
entire
annual-
year. So really, I think they will still refill them every single time until the promotion is
Yeah.
over and they go back to no more refillable popcorn.
Well, I thought there was an annual pass holder specific one you could get.
They
Or
did
was that
at
just in Disneyland?
Disneyland.
Disneyland?
Just
yeah.
Disneyland? Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. They do a lot of annual pass holders
But-
up there. So.
Well, the cast member didn't know. He said he just refills them, so I didn't know.
Yeah. I think
if
that's.
there's
I'm sure they have some policy that one day someone will stop everything and be like, "No, you can't."
They'll put a chip
you
in
can't
it.
refill it anymore. But I think for the time being,
They'll put a
why
barcode that
not?
they scan
Well,
or something.
I know that they have different tops that are different colors on top of those popcorn buckets. Like there's a green one, and I wonder if
What if I don't bring the top?
Yeah,
Lost the top.
Yeah, I lost
lost
the top.
it, lost the handle.
I don't have the top.
But that's spring break.
I got
don't
the
like
bucket.
handles.
I use a big gallon baggie.
I don't think.
Please
they'll
refill
fill
my
that.
baggie. I lost the bucket.
Hi, could you refill my black garbage bag over here? It's the industrial size for the leaves.
Here's the top.
Here's my lid to prove I had it.
Yeah. Side question.
But yeah, no, it was a good side question. At the end of the day, refillable options, the most we can get, that's the better. If they can come up.
And I think that annual pass holders should be allowed to have ones that like it's theirs. We're here all the time. Why not? Who cares?
Yeah.
Why are
We
you
spend enough
penalizing
money
us?
anyways.
Well, you penalize us because we have the most because we get a pass that's more expensive than a day-to-day ticket. And they're
Yeah.
like, no, that's just for regular guests.
See, I bought a popcorn for Ferris and one for Finley, and it was like $4.25 each. And I'm like, should I bought the $10 one?
Yeah.
But then, do I really want to walk around with a bucket next time we come in? I don't know.
And you'd be carrying the bucket.
yeah.
Yeah, that goes in a stroller. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
look that up. Anyway.
Okay, there you go. That intriguing popcorn talk. So we are almost out of time here, but just wanted to wrap it up with one more thing, and that is talking a little bit about Christmas because it is coming towards the end there, and
less than
of the
2
holiday
weeks.
season.
Oh,
Less
don't
than
say
2
that I
weeks.
haven't finished my show.
It's okay. So I'm just going to pose the question. Feel free to answer it. Don't answer it. What is the most fun thing you've done yet this year with Christmas that's helped put you in the spirit, and what are you doing to celebrate this year?
Oh, that's a tough
Anyone?
question.
Oh,
I'll go first. Last
sorry.
night, Candlelight Processional with Kurt Russell. Brought the kids. It was nice and cold outside, so we, with all the Christmas music and everything, it really put us in the spirit. And walking around Epcot with the Festival of the Holidays was wonderful. But I think we were decorated in our house for Christmas before Thanksgiving, so it kind of started early for us. But I think last night really kicked it up a notch.
I will say too, Kurt Russell is by far the best person I've ever heard deliver the Candlelight Processional. It doesn't even have to do with the fact that he's been in absolutely everything for the past 40 years. Just the command that he had standing up at the podium was
Completely, yeah.
It was the only time I've ever been in a candlelight where you can't hear anything happening behind you. Like usually you still hear the shuffling past, people are coming and going, being loud near America. It was nothing. Everyone was silent, just listening to him. Granted, he was like a soft speaker, so it wasn't, you kind of had to listen if you were further in the back, but it's Kurt Russell. He's easily the most famous person they've ever had.
And the amount of attention he paid to every single person that was singing all around him.
He's perfect. And he's been perfect my entire life.
I asked Julie, I said, let's go see Candlelight Processional this year. I said, who do you want to see? Without hesitation, Kurt Russell. Oh, my God.
Eli was
She
like,
was such
what
a fangirl.
What an odd choice. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, oh, yeah, I guess he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. And I was like, oh, my God, I want to slap
think
you so
Overboard.
hard right now.
Overboard.
Well,
oh, my
it's-
gosh.
Overboard,
Peter wore
Goldie?
tennis shoes. I don't know what year it came out,
Yeah,
but
Disney
oh my
movies.
God.
I'm talking Disney movies.
67.
I was a little child. and-
Overboard?
No,
Computer
wore
wore
tennis
tennis
shoes.
Overboard's
One of
not
the
a
first
Disney
movies
movie,
I
is
saw
it?
in the theater.
No,
Yeah,
but it's
I meant
still-
Disney,
it's a Kurt
like
Russell movie.
because he was assuming they picked people based on Disney, whatever, and I was like, well, he's a Disney legend, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Disney. He was a Disney
I was
legend
like,
in '98.
He's been in a lot of Disney movies that you don't realize that were
He
Disney
was
movies, too.
supposedly the last name that Walt ever
I know,
wrote down on a
right?
piece of paper.
And he's
Kurt Russell.
naturally aged, right?
Yeah.
He's not, there's nothing fake about him. He's just real.
Well, No, he really is, and he's just a fantastic actor. Like, I was even thinking back, I was trying to find a movie to watch that he's been in after seeing him that's also, like, Christmas related. Like, not
of
thinking
the
about
Galaxy.
it. What?
Guardians of the Galaxy, too.
No, it's like I thought about it. Well, what's Christmas? Snow. And then The Thing. I'm like, God, he is so incredible in that movie and the escape movies. Like,
Yeah, love
he
those.
just does everything. So, yeah, no, if you had the chance to see him,
You went with Sky
Count your
High
lucky
after all
stars.
that, though.
He said
right?
he'll be back next year.
I love Sky High.
I do, too.
I hope he starts coming back year round. I'm sure they took care of him very well.
Yeah,
I mean,
so he's like, oh, I'm coming back.
I had a glass of his $15
I know,
3-ounce
me
wine
too.
pour. So it was
Man,
delicious.
and the Chardonnay was 10. It's
I
like,
know.
really?
Hey, but the bottles were like 70 and 50, so I can understand. But Teresa, Christmas, go.
Christmas movies 24/7, Christmas music in the car constantly. Even when I'm just reading a book, I got the Yule log on TV going because I don't know, it's all about, and Disney related, just the decorations, the resorts, and the cold weather this year has really helped.
Yeah.
Right?
It has helped a lot.
And
So,
cooking, baking, it's all. And you know what I was thinking about? I have done very little Christmas shopping this year, which is kind of making me panic just a little bit. But my family would hate me to say this, but that's the very bottom of the line, bottom of the pile of what's important to me is the gifts. It's the prep and the just hanging, and all.
Yeah, it's that moment you feel when you're all together, just
Yeah.
bickering and arguing and fighting, but saying, "This is my family,
Right.
and this is
Or
Christmas."
after everybody goes to bed and I redecorate the tree because they put stuff in the wrong place. I love that, watching me in St. Louis and redoing the tree.
Love me some Judy Garland.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's all good.
Yes.
Stevie?
I have two. I will agree with Teresa on the weather being cooler this year made the Christmas party get me in the Christmas spirit that much earlier. But also my underdog pick was SeaWorld did an awesome job with Christmas this year. And they had the best frozen hot chocolate I've ever had. So if you have time to check out SeaWorld before Christmas season is over, I highly recommend it.
So it's frozen hot chocolate?
Yeah.
Have you never had
Explain
frozen
that.
hot chocolate
I've
before?
never.
Wouldn't that just be a milkshake?
Wouldn't it be a
No.
milkshake? Yeah.
No.
They started doing this like before I moved to Florida. I remember like at Borders, they were like, "All right, the theme drink this year for you guys to teach the cafe people is frozen hot chocolate." And I was
What
like,
is it?
"What?"
It's like a slushy, but it tastes like a hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's got that same powder. You know that powdery taste you get from a hot chocolate? It's that.
No.
No, I use real chocolate when
Oh
I make
my
mine.
God, get
That
to
powder,
over.
you're talking like Carnation Instant?
Yeah, I'm talking like a hot chocolate that you would
chocolate,
go
like
to
the-
get at a fair or something.
You tear open the packet and you dump the hot
Oh,
Who's going
okay.
to a fair to get hot chocolate?
Teresa
Those are in the
almost
summer.
passed out.
Who tears open the packet? Oh my God. Okay, never mind.
Where I'm from, there are light festivals, and you go to those festivals and you get the hot chocolate.
With the little tiny hard marshmallows in there that really aren't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But frozen like a slushy, and it's the best thing ever.
Interesting.
I'm not understanding, but I'm glad you had the best one
I
of your
did.
life.
That's
So,
sweet.
That's
Okay.
good.
No, and SeaWorld, like they have a cool ice skating show, and like they had a whole little market that had food and drinks, and they had
They got the
horn-
Rudolph characters this year.
I didn't see that.
Do you have an annual pass over there? Or did you
I
buy?
do.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know it's inexpensive.
You
to get an annual
didn't go
pass.
see the Rudolph people while
The
you were
bumbling.
Sorry, no,
They're
I
all
didn't.
there?
there? The Bumble.
Yeah,
The
the
bumbling.
Bumble's there. Yukon Cornelius,
Oh my gosh.
my alter ego.
Right?
Yeah.
Was it a real person or was it like a.
He doesn't
they-
know. He didn't see them.
I didn't see it.
They're the character versions of them. It's not a real person.
The
Is
fur.
the dentist there? The little dentist?
I'm
I
gonna
don't
be a
believe I
dentist.
saw him in the pictures that I
Hermie?
saw for it, but
His name is
Hermie.
Hermie.
gotta say it like that.
Hermie.
Harmy.
I don't.
annoying.
Someone tried to say it was Herbie, and I was like, it's Hermie.
No. Herbie's
Herbie's
the
a
love
car.
bug. Right.
Fully loaded. Rhino, you.
I don't know. You're asking what I did this year. I mean, it was nice. I finally put up my tree on Friday, and there is something about like pulling the tree out, decorating a tree that really does.
Pulling the tree out of what? The
No,
box?
I realized
Yeah.
as I was saying it. Oh yeah, it's a fake tree because we live in this garbage state. But you can get a real tree here, but it's like it's impossible to keep it. I tried the first or second year. You do real tree?
Yeah, every year.
I don't know. It's hard. They dry out.
Our
really
main
easily
tree is
here.
real. Well, they dry out because you're not watering them, or you didn't recut it when. Never mind. I have one reel and
I don't.
7
I'm not able
fake
to
in my tiny
recut
little
my
house.
tree.
Well, you get a saw and you do it.
Anyway,
I could
I've got
imagine him
my
going out
fake
like
one.
Zoolander, like getting a pickaxe.
Right.
and, Here I go.
It's my
And then
Christmas.
picks it up and puts it in the car.
Well, now you've ruined my
You have the
Christmas.
plaid going.
Cramming it in the car.
No, I mean putting it up. It was like the cold weather came at just the right time.
Where
I
do you
guess.
put your tree?
In my living room,
Where at?
in the corner.
in front of a window.
Have you been in his house?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you know when you're sitting at my kitchen table, like the little glass table,
Right,
Yeah.
that area.
where the bar is, it's next to it. So like where the outdoor patio is.
Oh, okay.
You know the things
Okay.
here. I'm sorry, I'm showing everyone my sweaty armpits.
It's sweating.
It's over
It's so
there.
hot.
So you can see it outside, but you can also see
Oh,
it inside.
cool.
And also, I'm terrified Artie and Rocket are going to try and pee on it like a real tree. It
Show us
hasn't
how
happened
tall
yet,
it is. How
but
tall is it?
that's-
Show us how tall it is.
It's actually, this is the first year because I'm not going home this year, unfortunately, but this is the first year I pulled out the real full-size tree. It's like an 8-foot tall tree, and I
Yeah.
forgot how wide the tree was, and that's where I was like, all right, well, this is half of my living room now.
You gotta shimmy past it.
Yeah.
Am I the only one with a real tree?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like them down
We
here.
used to, but now we have all the.
They're sad down here.
The only thing I don't like about a real tree is they're made to look, the perfect shape and all, but the branches are so spindly, it's hard to hang good ornaments on.
Oh,
Well, if you buy a fake tree, you got to invest in it,
Yeah.
knowing that it's going to last you for a couple of
Yeah.
years. You take what you spend on a real tree, you multiply it times 5, and then that's how much you invest in a real. in a fake one.
$7,000.
My family, the day after Thanksgiving, will go, and we do this every year. We go out and we cut down our own tree. But that's just my parents.
We used to do that
That's
when I
what
was a
we did,
kid.
too.
Yeah.
I was
That
so
sounds
against fake trees, so against it, but
I was growing up too. But it's hard. It's like what you said. They're very thin here. They get really. They're not like when you're from the woods where I'm from. Like, and I don't know what your area of Pennsylvania was like, but I'm assuming it was woodsy, judging by your shirt. And
That's what we judge it by.
You walk around Christmas trees essentially all year long because they're everywhere. And so like when you've got one that like for me, even my like fake tree, it's a nice one. But I even said to Eli like this year, I think it's maybe getting on its last leg because even then it feels like it's kind of thinning out almost here. And I need a good
I
ornament.
tossed 2 fake ones this year. I just
sturdy ornament bearing branches. Disney makes heavy ornaments. I've realized every one of my Disney ornaments, I have to like bend the leaves over around the ornament to keep it up and like keep the leaf up in the air. The leaf, the branch.
Yeah,
And
I
you know
agree
what?
with that.
This year is the first year my mother wasn't going to put up a real tree or a Christmas tree,
actual tree?
full size tree. So I was gifted the ornaments from my childhood and her childhood. Yeah, I'm all excited about that.
That's cool.
I was terrified where to put them though, without somebody knocking them down. But
Yeah.
I like that kind of thing. All those traditions.
Well, I pulled out. I have an ornament, and it's a train because if you know, I grew up on a railroad. And it says 1980.
The tracks. Which side?
All sides. And it. I don't know. I think that was the moment for me where I was like, oh, got that real sad, depressing feeling about like when you're not home for Christmas because it was like. I don't remember that. Like, I don't know how. I think my mom slipped that in my bag or something like that because it says 1985 on it. It's my
Is this your first
ornament.
year not going home for Christmas?
It's the first one in a long time. I've done it once when I couldn't go home when I was working at Disney, so it's like tough. But my best friend is coming down right after Christmas to spend my birthday with me, and so I'm super excited about that. So I got a nice present on the other side of it. So it's okay. But it is like I don't know. There's something about when you get that old ornament that. And it had my birth year on it. And I was like, all right, well, try not to bawl my eyes out while I put this up,
Like the first time he heard the Christmas shoes.
Oh, my God.
No, I'll be home for Christmas, the Carpenters. First time I heard that, the first year in 1984, when I could not go back to Illinois for Christmas, I about drove off the highway. I was crying so hard.
The first time I ever really saw Eli cry, and I'm sorry I'm embarrassing him on the show that he doesn't watch, but I had never heard that song before, and I remember where we were. We're on Kirkman on the intersection of Conroy, and we're going to take the left, and he was like, oh, this song, and he turns it up, and I don't know who sings the Christmas shoes, but it might have been like a Bruce Springsteen version or something, so it was extra raspy.
No, Bruce would not do that.
Well, it was like and Mama, and she got the shoe, and I was like, oh God. And I was just listening, and I wasn't looking at him because I was like thinking in my head, this is the most depressing song I've ever heard in my life. And I turned to the left, and Eli was covered in water and like sniffling and like dry heaving. And I was like, do you have a personal connection to this song right now? Because
my mama.
I was just like, oh,
these shoes.
It's just so sad.
It was.
I'm gonna have to go listen to it.
And if you think about
It's
it,
like the Christmas
It's
song
gonna mess up my Spotify playlist.
What's that song that makes all the dads cry? The Silver Spoon, the Cat's in the Cradle, and the Silver Spoon.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas version of that song. It's just like, and Mama's dead on Christmas, and you're like, oh my God, why is this a Christmas song? I'm supposed to feel guilty about buying presents.
there was this book that someone gave me when Max and Grace were little, and it was it's called Babes in the Woods or whatever. But in the end, the children in the story die, and the
I don't
animals
think that was a
cover them
Christmas
up,
book.
Oh my
cover them up
God.
with leaves and leave them there because the horrible home they lived in was so bad they just walked off into the woods and died. And I did not know this, and I'm reading this a bedtime story, and I get to the end, and I realized when I turned and I saw the illustration, I'm thinking, oh my Lord, these children are going to die in this story. And they did, and little animals were covered.
And they
up with
did?
leaves.
Oh,
yes.
jeez. I thought
Like
they'd end up
their
at
little
Twisty
shoes.
Treat or something.
Their little shoes and the snow covered.
Did your children give you that book?
No, someone gave it
Oh,
to
okay,
me.
because I was like, is it a comment on your parent? Or
No, it was somebody gave it to me, but I don't think they read it through.
I would have
because
hit my kid right
You get to
in the
the
head
end,
with
and
that
it's like, oh my God, they're all dead. It was so horrible.
Merry
And
Christmas.
Well, that's a good place. Unless Rhino's got one more.
We celebrate Christmas here by crying about Christmas death.
Yeah, we do.
Sorry.
So
I'm gonna go home and make cookies tonight and hard candy.
that's.
Peppermint
I know we
candy.
didn't make any treats for the show this year.
I know.
but
It's sad.
that's okay. No, we didn't.
It's all right.
I didn't have time to.
It's all good.
So yeah, we'll do it
I
next
was
year.
hoping for Steve's decorated little thing
Mac
he
and
made
cheese.
last year.
Oh yeah, they were awful.
Yeah, they were very not good.
No, they were good. I'd have to watch it back to see
Hang
if I
on,
could
I just got
remember.
a text message from your mother.
Yeah, I think she's sending
Is she
everyone.
saying, "Don't talk about my favorite song, the Christmas
Oh
shoes"?
no,
she's
she sent me a
sending us-
picture of her tree,
Yeah.
her real tree.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay,
That's my mom.
That's
so,
your mom.
that's my mama.
See you soon, Mom. Okay, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the year, last one. So I know we had a really great year. A lot of fun things happened, and I know 2018 is going to be
Banner year.
a banner year. It'll be the best year since 2017.
It's going to be
I'll
better.
tell you that much. We can all hope. We can all
I'm
hope.
praying. Yes.
Yes, good. So just you do you.
Okay.
I'm thinking,
You do you.
wishing
I'll do me.
and praying.
And yes, I just want to take a second to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate this time of year. If you celebrate nothing at all, then just enjoy the weather, whether good or bad. And we will see you again in 2018 with the next episode of the Diz Unplugged. But until then, everyone, just Merry Christmas.